Yeah, Mommy Ingrid, what about you?
Yes. Well, first of all, I have to say we did it.
We did it.
Yeah, we are empowered. I empowered. You know,
So
as
right.
usual, from the beginning to the end, every single page I have the notes and I have things highlighted. But I will be so bold. When we started this book, earlier on in the very early in the book, when he asked us which zone do we think we were in. And I remember, and you all really found me for it, especially Janine, when I said, I need to get, Mr. Hendricks needs to get a zone above the very first zone because I hadn't even reached there. But tonight, I am so proud of myself. And after reading chapter 7, I am telling you, ladies, I'm in the genius zone. I am in the genius zone. And I have realized for the last 2 weeks in my life, well, 3 weeks to be exact, because I did miss a couple sessions, and it was because I was working in my genius zone.
Wonderful. That is so
I love
awesome.
it.
Yes.
Yes. Negativity, no more dwell in this body, in this mind.
Can I say something? I saw the little change in you from the first time, from the very first episode to now. I saw the little change. But woo, almost raised my paws to hear you say that tonight. I am so glad to hear you say that.
Yes, yes. And the thing is, so much has been pouring in, so many things. And you see my little doggy in the back. If I leave her outside, it's because she's going to be pounding on the door.
Ah,
So,
kitty.
so much has been coming in, coming in. It's like a flood, like a floodgate was open. And things are just coming in, coming in. But what I'm marveling about myself is how I'm handling it. Um, you know, week before when I was here, I said that my major problem was saying no. So I still can't say no, but I came up with a plan. Yeah, I came up with a plan. So working in my junior zone is working with people, right?
Mhm.
And people come to me, whether it's, all sorts of problems, whatever. So this girlfriend came to me and I told her, I said, I did not want to say no. So I said, you know what? Right now, my plate is a little bit full. You know I want to rush in and help you. But I am going to help you. But here's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, I want to help you. And she's like, what? I confused and she crying. I said, no. So we have some stuff going on. So let's get a little journal. And the first thing you're going to do for me is you're going to use that first page as like a data sheet now. Who am I? You know, just write things about yourself, your personality. So she does that. She take about a whole week, right? So give me enough time to start clearing up my stuff. Then she calls me and we chat because we couldn't meet. And it's okay. So the next page, you're gonna just list all the things that are bothering you, all the things that have pained you, all the obstacles, all the tribulations, everything that has you here right now, reaching out for help. You go on it. And we went at it, we went at it, we went at it until I was able to say, okay, I am here now. And by the time I got there, she was halfway through. And then she fell in love with my favorite thing. And I'm sure Alina and Janine, I'm sure yours too, journaling. She fell in
Oh,
love with journaling. So I found a way. This is why I could boast. I am in my genius because I found a
Yeah.
way to help her without being physically there, Janine.
your whole energy has changed. I'm seeing it.
Yes, yes.
I love it.
I am enjoying you all. And, looking at chapter 7 as well, it stood out to me where he was saying at the beginning of the chapter that the essential move we all need to master is learning how to handle more positive energy, success, and love. Because what we really need to do it's increased our tolerance for things going well in our lives. And even at the beginning of the book, I had green flagged that as something that stood out to me. And even now, today, it still is something that resonates with me. Just that idea of having to remember it's not about arriving, it's about staying. It's not about achieving, it's about maintaining. And it's not about like the physical. A lot of times, when you hear people talk about it, they talk about it in terms of physical gains, money, property, assets, whatever. But even in life, in love, in peace, and harmony, like I was chatting with someone this week, and I was saying, my goal is to be able to live and function in a place of peace. And one of the things, interestingly enough, I had in COVID was a serenity like I had never had before. Sounds strange that COVID, the time of
No.
calamity for so many, for me was such an awesome time of serenity. And now with things changing in the economy, I have to adjust and have to get back out. And I was like, my serenity is seeping away. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. And I was like, okay, I have to find a way to get back to life, regularish life, and maintain that bliss that I had during COVID. And it's so interesting. So I use that example to say it's not always just about maintaining things, but like our mommy Ingrid talk about being in that zone of genius and discovering her ability to say no or to divert or adjust or apply new strategies. It's not about doing it once or twice, but being able to maintain that, to make it a way of life. And that for me is like a really, really powerful reminder even at the beginning of chapter 7. But Mommy Ingrid, even that's because I know you're a lady, you love your notes. Even as you look back on your notes from chapter 7, what else would have stood out to you?
All right. I went all the way down to was it page 197, where he said um, he was talking about, well, he gives a little translation from a poem called Your Divine Invitation. And to me, I said yes, I got my invitation a while back. And what is my invitation now? My invitation may not be millions of dollars or even, how should I say, the workplace or even my family. My divine invitation is personal, it's ingrained, it's new. And that came a couple of years ago when I decided that, well, not me, but the Holy Spirit decided, hey, I'm ready for you, right? And that my divine invitation was, it sends me back into scripture, which is John 14:3, when Jesus says, I am going now to prepare a place for you, and after I have gone and prepared you a place, I shall return to take you with me, because you are supposed to be there where I am. And for me, that means I am no longer waiting for Christ. I am now preparing for Christ. How am I doing that? I have decided to choose to live my life as a disciple. Not a perfect life, that's impossible, but a life full of peace and love. And for me, if you have peace within you and you have love within you, then you just going to blossom into this beautiful flower. And I am seeing that every single day of my life now, right? And sometimes I realize that when I'm trying, I will try. We all try for perfection. And sometimes when I don't see it, I do get disappointed. But I'm telling you something, and it's not a paid promotion, people who are watching, but I must thank you, Elena, for thinking about me in this book club series, because I wasn't sure if I was ready in the beginning to take the lead, you know. And something happened somewhere, I'm not even sure at which point, at which chapter, but I just dived in the thing. I didn't even, like when you go into a pool, He didn't go down, he stepped inside it. I just went to the deep side and I passed through him and I dived. And then I realized, hey, I ain't drowning. I never was
Mm.
drowning. I was never drowning because my greatness always been in me. It has always been there. It just had to take something to make me shine. And for a long time, you're waiting for someone to set that fire. And you know what? I set it all on my own. So for me, that was my divine invitation was directly from Jesus. That's what my divine invitation is. If I
I like
can
that.
take away from the whole chapter, and that is where it's really from. And that was the
Yeah.
biggest point in this whole chapter. The conclusion, I don't know if you were supposed to do all of that like this last week, but I just went ahead with it. And I'm just seeing things flowing because the truth is, my desire has always been to help people and to help people not just say what you're being charitable and that kind of thing. Because from very young, and I always share this, that I wanted to be a nun. And my biggest inspiration came from Mother Teresa. You know, without thinking how she would just go in there and she would get down on the streets and you have the lepers and she was us. She responded, she just her whole thing was you had all these poor people who can't afford medical, they don't have family, they have all sorts of diseases and they're thrown out to the streets to die. And she said that everyone is supposed to die with humility, not like a on the side of it,
Mm.
nobody. And if she was that person to make a change, and there was one thing she said as well, you may not be able to help 1,000 people, but you can help one person. Look at my daughter. She doesn't even realize that on YouTube and she's gonna be upset with me. As this is a true life book up series, mommy. Uh, yeah, and I came across that. Actually, she was still alive, so I heard her say it. Not, I wish it was live, but on television, when she said, "You may not be able to help 1,000 people, but you can help one." And it really hurt my heart because all my life I really wanted to be a non-union. And all my life, I felt that emptiness. I dragged myself down. And then you would wonder why. And then, you share it and they say, well, why did it didn't happen? I don't know because I didn't have the guidance and I didn't have this and I'm a Catholic, like, and throughout the years and of more recent, when I share that story and someone says to me, so how come you didn't happen? How come you didn't go into the convent? And I don't have a reason anymore. Because I was holding on to something that I wanted, and I said to myself, if this is what you wanted, what you needed, but that's not what God wanted for me. God didn't say that was the right thing for me. Now, in my life, I am seeing where I am probably going to be the greatest nun without an abbot because I am very involved in church. I'm a Catholic. I have 16 people who are converted into Catholicism. And, not just under my watch alone, I am still learning. And I am bonding with them and they're seeking my help spiritually. Who would have thought me? I was going to think this, And then, I am one of my proudest, I have two of the proudest moments in my life happened just over the last month. One being a friend of mine, her son, he's expressed that he was committed to become a priest. And the only person they could afford is me. And I came when I told my children, I could die now because I want to help make a priest. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that, yeah. But for me, it might just sound kind of crazy to somebody else, but to me, that's somebody recognized my faith and my spirituality. And like my daughter, she's in her confirmation class, and they all need to get a sponsor, it's like a godmother parent. And I am sponsoring a child, right? I can't sponsor who's sponsoring a child. And I had about 5 or 6 of people from church, grounded Catholics, their elders in church. It's either their grandson or granddaughter or child, and they came to me, and my whole thing is, the reason they came to me is not because I might have been available, or for the first time, look happy, look even, she could do it. It just was not about that. They all said one thing that maybe swung my ego a little bit, but this time it's a good thing. And they said to me, I don't want somebody to stand as a sponsor for my child and my grandchild. I want somebody who would have them grounded, who would seek their interests, who would be there for them. It's just to listen to them. And every morning, so I now have three godsons. Um, they're age 18 and that kind of age. And so, every morning I send them a little hi, be the best that you can be today. I think that I got from the day that it's actually helping me. With this book help me, it's helping me to help other people. Some good advertising for the Hendricks, but that's the truth. That's what I am taking away from this entire series. This book, you ladies have touched me in a place. I am all for just reaching out and doing so. I have started so many little things. For some people, it might be little, but they're grateful to. Like I have started this thing on Facebook, and I'm up to my second thing, where I just go and my post for the morning or for the day is I am, and I type woman in capital letters. So like today, it was I am woman. You sister is woman. We are queens. Let us polish each other's crown and let our jewels shine. And I just started to type, and that's what came out.
That's
And
what flowed. Yes.
yes, and it's because I am being totally honest. It's not about making
So
anybody
that's
good.
that's him speaking through you.
Yes, and it is because of when you, Janine, said to me, hey, stop apologizing for yourself. You have no reason to. And Elena will say, hey, just do it. And I didn't just say, okay, and it's just part of the series. I really took it to heart, and I really do appreciate it. So I'm still a student, but I'm a teaching student. Like when you do A levels and you give lessons to the
Yeah,
CXC.
but Gay Hendricks says the same thing. He's a forever student. He
Yes,
doesn't assume that he's learned everything either. He says
yes,
that while he is helping others, he is still also learning. He's not going to assume that he knows everything. As a matter of fact, he said the universe will teach us lessons with either the tickle of a feather or the warmth of a sledgehammer. When you think you know everything,
yes,
and you think you know everything, and you start to get arrogant and all of that. If you don't take stock and let that feather tickle you, that sledgehammer is going to come and knock you back down into humility.
yes,
So I like that idea that he kept that humility with him, even though he knows where he is working in his zone of genius. He kept that humility, and that's something I want to keep as well. Know
yes.
that I'm not better than anybody else, but I am also striving or continuously striving to be better, and I want to pull you along with me.
I love that.
Very.
Even as we look at, I really enjoyed the conclusion
Oh,
because,
yes,
of course, it brought the conclusion. And just to share for those who probably would be listening in the future, but maybe didn't read the book, just to share some key points, one of the things that the author spoke about is the notion of the upper limit problem. And he's saying that the upper limit problem is our universal human tendency to sabotage ourselves when we have exceeded the artificial upper limit that we've placed on ourselves. And simply put, this means we tend to mash it up because in our minds we told ourselves this is the best that it could go, and when we reach that level of best in our head, or we start to surpass it, we start to self-sabotage, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. And it happens When I say knowingly and unknowingly, even consciously and unconsciously, because we read of all those examples where some people literally get sick. Like I know people who, whenever they have to, adults who, whenever they have to embark on a large project, they get debilitatingly sick and need to go to the hospital and all sorts of stuff. It happens. It happens to the best of us. And so it's interesting to pay attention to the teachings that were being shown through the book. And he also spoke about the barriers. And ladies, we talked through so many of these as the week went along, like the barrier of that false belief that something just inherently wrong with us, or the false belief that if we do well, we're being disloyal and we're leaving behind people and we can't be disloyal, or the barrier or the false belief that says we're a burden to the world, or the false belief that says we need to dim our lights so that we don't outshine other people. And I
Yeah.
think it's so awesome that we got the opportunity through this book to discuss those points. So even if we were unconsciously or consciously doing that, we could have had the opportunity to stop it, to challenge ourselves, to say, no, I will not do that anymore. And, of course, the whole point being to maintain, to continue pushing forward. So, what is the way forward, ladies, even as we wrap up? Not just chapter 7, but the big leap. What is the way forward? What is the new thing, the different thing, the other thing that we're going to be doing moving forward? I can tell you, for me, it's that notion of maintaining maintaining it. I'm not worried about arriving. I'm not worried about achieving. I'm not worried about maintaining. I am just simply aware on the nth degree level that we must be intentional about maintaining not only to the physical achievements that we desire, but the internal, the joy, the peace, the love, the relationships we must maintain. And for me, that's my big takeaway and my place of really soaking it in every area of life, asking myself, how do I maintain, avoid sabotage, conscious or unconscious, avoid sabotage, check for the red flags and the green flags, and maintain. Janine, what's your big takeaway? What's your way forward having read this book?
For me, it was it's how do I state this? It's more of a resolution. You see that thinking that okay, because I always in the background. I don't like to be forward and all of that. But I think now is the time to stop dimming my light and shining the way that I need to shine. Trying to not make anyone feel uncomfortable or as I said, dimming my light so that yours could shine brighter does what? What does that help? What does that achieve? I need to now stop and say, well, okay, this is what I want to do. You may not have seen it before, so you would not see the vision, but this is what I want to do. This is how I want my light to shine. It would be with sparkles, it might have fireworks. Sometimes it would have a little dimmer just so that it could have effect.
Yeah.
But my light is going to shine now. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to pull you along
You're
with me and
not
light it
sorry.
for you. No, no, no. What I mean is that I'm not going to be dimming the lights so that you could shine the way you want to go. I'm going to say, well, here, what this is the way I'm going. Let me shine away for you. Come with me now. Come and see. Come and see. Because I'm seeing something over there that both of us going to enjoy. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take you along with me. I'm not dimming that light anymore. I refuse. I refuse. I think that's what I'm going to say as well. I refuse. I refuse.
I love it. For me, Ingrid, what's your big takeaway?
Okay, well, my big takeaway is change because I know that I have experienced change, and change is in the now, right? Change is a part of life. We change as we go along. At least we allow change, right? So my takeaway is always I'm gonna always challenge the change in me. I'm not gonna let it just die off on me. I'm not gonna get complacent with it. I am going to always challenge the change, but I'm never going to change the challenge.
Mm.
Ooh.
So that will just allow me to just continue growing and growing and growing in my genius. I'm so
Oh
proud
my
to say
God, I need to hear you every so often because these gems that you keep hitting us with, keep pelting us with.
yeah, yeah. No,
I
but I
love it. I love it. Ladies, thank you for joining me on this journey book club conversation series for The Big
Yes.
Leap by author Gay Hendricks. We have closed. It was great. Series 5 should be coming in April. And we look forward. So I'll figure out whether y'all gonna be on that journey too. But definitely for those who follow Book Club Convo, Series 5 is gonna be coming in April. So until then, we're definitely gonna share and reshare snippets from these convos because they dropped some good gems up inside of here. It was good. So thank you to everybody who participated. Much love to Chanel who couldn't be here. And until
Yes.
series 5, bye bye, people.